Namaskar, welcome to Honest Astrology YouTube channel, and today we are going to talk about the toughest Rahu Ketu placement. Ketu in second and Rahu in eighth. So I have Divya with me. Divya, thank you for agreeing to do this. Let's start.
Well, thank you, sir, to you for agreeing to do this. A lot of us have a lot of doubts as to what Rahu and Ketu axis does. So it'll be great. Last we did Ketu in the first. Now we'll move on to Ketu in the second.
Yeah, that video is doing well. That video is doing well.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
great.
it's getting a lot of hits.
So Ketu in the second and seven houses apart, Rahu would be in the eighth house.
Yeah,
So let's start with what Ketu does in the second house and what second house stands for.
I personally hate this placement. This is the toughest Ketu Rahu placement that you can get. So second is house of mouth, money, family, inheritance, uh, sort of luxuries, okay, speech, everything that Ketu is not fond of. Ketu technically doesn't have first and second house,
Yeah.
right? उसका सिर नहीं है. So your head and mouth they together constitute your first and second house. So Ketu के तो पल्ले ही नहीं है वो house. Okay, so Ketu is totally disengaged with that. So one thing that I have seen, and in the current times, the best blessing that you can have is peace of mind. Number two is money. These people suck with money. They can make a lot of money, okay, if they have a strong 11th house. But when it comes to saving money, they suck. They are very mindless when it comes to money. In order to save like $100, they can go to 20 shops and then they will buy something worth 5,000, which is absolutely useless, just in a mood of it. Then I have seen a lot of diabetics with this chart. Ketu in the second will not let you eat a lot. Okay? He will force you to eat sada sattvic khana. It will force you to eat like a monk. He will make you diabetic and he will mess with your teeth. पूछना root canal हुआ. Okay. And ask them who has a diabetic gene. Usually their fathers have a diabetic gene. Then coming to the father, their father gives them anda. Father doesn't give.
Money.
Yeah. I have seen zero inheritance. In fact, what they inherit from the father is a diabetic gene and some debt. Then these people will typically cut ties with the family. You will never find their joint families last.
Absolutely. I have seen that personally in some cases.
Because Ketu wants to move out of the second house of the Kutum. So fourth house is your core family, second house is your Kutum. They never get along with them. So there is always some sort of a breakup in the joint family. And they usually don't get much out of it. Usually their father will squander things. Even if the father has inheritance, he won't be able to pass it on to these kids.
Correct.
What they get from the father is usually failures and debt. Until unless you have a very saving grace, let's say a Mercury sitting with Ketu, that's a different thing. Then you will find rich people. But again, they would have to start from zero at least once in their life. एक बार तो ये लोग सड़क पे आएंगे. Okay. Second thing, the moment they gamble, they bleed money.
Yep.
The moment they touch share market, they bleed money. The moment they want to live a luxurious life, they start bleeding, something goes wrong. Then they cannot handle cash. Not just money, cash. Especially, particularly cash. So these people, you give them 1 lakh in cash, within 1 week they'll burn it up. I have clients who have lost millions in cash. At least in months they lose cash. Once in a lifetime. A good amount, at least 5,000-10,000 in a wallet, they drop it. They drop it in a bag, they lose it at an ATM. Cash never suits them. In their wallet, it's like a bhatti going on where you put in cash and it keeps
Yeah,
burning. Okay.
it's
Then,
bad with money.
yeah, they are never able to enjoy their own
Yeah,
wealth. Other people enjoy their own wealth. It's always other people who enjoy their wealth. One thing I've seen, for some reason, they are able to build some inheritance for their next generation. Despite not being able to enjoy, despite not being able to get anything from the father, these guys have to work hard for money.
very, very hard.
The
Not even I've seen.
So this is the fakir combination.
Yeah.
The question is, how do you get over the negative impact of Ketu second house?
But
And
before that, if you're able to understand why does behave exactly like a fakir in this house?
Ketu is a fakir. Wherever he goes, he will behave like a fakir. That is what you need to understand. Okay. Ketu in the fifth will become a detached fakir. He would say, I don't want children.
Yeah.
Ketu in the seventh will say, I don't want a wife. Yeah? So Ketu in the second says, I don't want money. So my theory is that in their past lives, these people were rich and they abused their money. They did not give enough. So this time they can't enjoy their money. They won't have cash at least till their youth. Okay, in their 30s, they get a little better. And by the time they have some money, they are diabetics.
Mm.
Yeah. So I'm yet to see a very rich man with only Ketu in the second house. Other planets, they have their own this time, but we are talking about strictly Ketu. Then these guys can go mad with money. You know, beyond a certain point. Now it can be different level for different people. Beyond, let's say, 20,000, 50,000, 1 lakh, they feel like मैं कुछ करूं इस पैसे का, let me do something with it, and then they go and do something stupid with that money.
Yeah.
So a fakir doesn't need cash. A Jain
Yeah.
Muni doesn't have pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah, so saving cash, saving money, भूल जाइए, नहीं होने वाला.
So Ketu becomes very uncomfortable in the house of
Oh yes,
money.
oh yes, oh yes,
उसको समझ ही नहीं आता यहाँ पे क्या करें.
yes, yes.
So how does so now we're talking about Ketu in the second. We'll
Mhm.
go to how does Rahu behave exactly in the eighth house in this axis, and then
Okay.
we'll come back to how to handle
So
Ketu.
Rahu in eighth is a royal pain if you don't know how to handle it. Rahu in eighth will make you a pangebaj. Okay? You will mess with occult. You will mess with shady creatures. Okay. You can go take panga with illegal activities. You can visit dangerous places. Okay. Rahu is a gangster in the underworld. Okay. Rahu is an element. But usually, whenever Rahu Dasha or Antardasha or God forbid Mahadasha comes to a Rahu 8th house, he is screwed. बर्बाद करके रख देता है 8th house Rahu in its Mahadasha.
So eighth house, explain a little bit what eighth house is.
8th house is the underworld, 8th house is the occult, 8th house is hidden things, 8th house is things which are underground, 8th house is sex, 8th house is occult, okay, 8th house is dark practices. Even astrology is partially 8th house.
Yeah.
Astrology is something where 8th and 9th house of conjoin. Okay. So everything that is hidden, that is taboo, that is uh, restricted, illegal, that's 8th house. So these people, they are able to find occult secrets like this. You will find a lot of astrologers with the 8th house Rahu. You will find a lot of researchers with the 8th house Rahu. Albert Einstein had an 8th house Rahu. That is
Interesting.
why, yeah, that is why he was able to, give all these theories. One aate na aate, he would get those ideas. So that was a typical Rahu idea. But the man never cared about money. Israel wanted him to be the first president. He said, "Bhai, apne bas ka nahi." Money he never cared for. Okay, and he was a solid bulakkad. So he was an 8th house Rahu person. So totally detached from the material world, too much into his uh, research and everything. So if you are able to utilize that energy properly, you get secrets of the universe. You will find out theories which other people couldn't see. You will be able to connect the dots. Okay? You will find out beautiful things hidden in plain sight, and you will see evil hidden in plain sight, and you will be able to dig out the truth. So there go. Rahu is like a knife. Okay, a knife can save lives. A knife can take lives.
Absolutely. It's how you use it.
So Rahu is a very very powerful energy. The badass planet. Eighth house. So that's a gangster in the underworld. He is in his element. Okay. So if you are able to focus it properly, so such people are seen they make great researchers. The scientists who simply live on, one glass of juice and they keep researching, and people make billions of dollars out of it, but they don't get even 1%. That's your Ketu Rahu combination. Okay. So they almost always you will find them in some sort of research, some sort of panga, and some sort of financial difficulty.
Yeah. Definitely these are financially troubled people. I've definitely seen that personally. So maybe they can channelize the I mean, it depends on how you use this Rahu placement, right?
Yes.
You can definitely channelize to learn more, to
Yeah.
research more,
Yeah.
and maybe through that earn money, some money, whatever little you
No,
Ketu
no,
lets you.
no, 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 no. That is a different thing. How do you handle this? Okay.
How do you handle this?
First thing, stop chasing money. If you chase money, you will never get money. If you chase wisdom, money will be a byproduct. There will come a time in life when money will start chasing you if you are smart enough. And if you are truthful enough, if from your heart you take the love of money out. Okay. If you take money, ki bhai, this is not for me, this is for my family. And I have seen one thing, such people usually they have at least one child with a very strong financial chart. Nature is very kind.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what you do is you open an account in the name of that bacha.
Mhm.
You put all your savings in that account. आपके account पे पैसा नहीं टिकेगा, उल्टे लटक जाओ. Something will go wrong. Your car will break down. You will have a medical emergency. If nothing else, some big fat Indian wedding of some silly relative, 50,000 gone, right? Minimum. But if you start saving money in the name of your children or your spouse, but particularly I think for some reason with children it works better. If you think this is not my money, this is this bacha's money, you put it there and put it in an account where you can deposit digitally, you cannot withdraw digitally. For withdrawal, you will have to physically go and withdraw. That is when you save money. Okay. You need to take it out of your mind that this is mera paisa. No, this is their paisa. You are here to build a legacy and inheritance for those
Wealth, yeah.
because you owe it to them. Your father couldn't do it, but you have to do it. Eighth house Rahu, these guys will have a legacy. Okay. Many a times, you see a soldier getting an award after his death. Life में नहीं मिला, but after his death, he suddenly becomes a legend. Soldier कितना पैसा बनाया? Most probably a second house Ketu 8th house. There were scientists who, when they got Nobel Prize, people did not know where they lived. Even the journalists couldn't find them out. फिर पता लगा वो कोई तो जंगल में जाके रह रहा है कि कैबिन इन द वुड्स बना के. That is a second house Ketu 8th house. Another thing that they should do, uh, they should start donating food. Even if you can only feed one piece of bread to a dog, one apple to a cow, one biscuit to an ant, do it. Third thing, make your diet extremely sattvic. Eating fruits, juices, cow milk. That will do wonders, particularly fruits and juices. The less you eat, the richer you become. Yeah,
Because Ketu wants to live like a monk and not indulge.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. So the more sattvic your diet is, the better your life will become. The better your health will become. But diabetic ho bhaiya. But there is one exception which I have seen. Ketu in the second likes liquor.
Hmm.
वो कहीं तो नागा साधु भी है. So such people, they develop a taste for alcohol. So this is one paradox. Ketu still carries some sort of tamas in him. So with a Jain Muni, they're like 25% Naga Sadhu, a Gauri type character. So these people, even if they have to take double dose of diabetes, they will have their nightcap. Rahu, Ketu, Shani in the second, they are fond of drinks, particularly Shani. But even Ketu loves to drink. So this is a paradox. Khana he wants sattvic, but alcohol he likes.
Alcohol wants, yeah.
So these are those, vegetarian alcoholics who wouldn't eat eggs. But yes, they can drink anybody under the table, particularly if they have a strong moon influence. The idea is not to get greedy. To have, if this is the beauty of Ketu. Once you surrender, he is your friend.
Yeah.
So when you say, okay, Maharaj, I don't want to become Dhirubhai Ambani, you just give me enough to
Lead my basic life.
at least to provide for my family, not for myself,
Yeah.
for my family. Ketu gives, okay? Provided you don't save in your account. Second thing, you should have only your pocket money with you, and that too in digital money. Ketu hates cash for some reason. Ketu does not hate digital money. Debit card is okay. Paytm is even better. So digital money sticks with these people. That's a new blessing. I think after 2016, Ketu has become a little meherban on these people. All this Paytm and phone pays. So the less cash, the better their life is. And they should have a limit. Let's say the pocket money is 5,000. So anything above 5,000 goes to Bibi Bacha.
Another thing I think we notice, these people get, the married ones get a lot of support, financial support
Yeah.
from their in-laws.
In-laws, yes.
Yeah.
8,000 Rahu. Then they can often get money from somebody's death. Let's say a grandmother died, gave you 5 lakhs. You should never get greedy for money. Greed will kill these people.
That's Ketu in the second for you.
The fastest way they lose their money is share market.
Yeah.
I have a friend whose uncle was a multi-millionaire, lost his shirt in the stock market. Second of this. So Ketu will give you enough and more to sustain, enough and more for your needs. But the moment you get greedy, he will take away your needs as well. That's the paradox. So such people, if they become rishis, okay, what are rishis? A rishi is not exactly a fakir, a non-greedy powerhouse of knowledge.
Yeah.
Rishis were not kings. They didn't live in palaces. They lived in beautiful ashrams. Fakir will go for yachana. Okay, fakir will go for begging. Rishis wouldn't go for begging. They had a good ecosystem to support themselves, and people will keep giving them dakshina and everything. But they were so self-sufficient that they wouldn't need to beg. They would have their cows, and kings would come and give them gold and land and everything. But they would put everything to the use of society and the ashram, and they would be busy with their copy kitab research, teaching. Okay. So money was very secondary for them.
Enough to survive.
More than enough to survive. They used to have entire hostels of boys, yeah, and they'll keep teaching them, and they will live a very simple but elegant life.
Yeah.
But they were not greedy. A king will say, "Here is 1,000 Asharfi, thank you." He'll say, "It's 5,000, thank you." He'll say, "There is 500, thank you." They wouldn't ask for more. They wouldn't beg. And they weren't greedy. Their focus was to find out the secrets of the universe and share it with the world. So if you become a rishi, you don't need to be a fakir.
True.
So take out greed, focus on knowledge, try to help people, and never try to make do number ka paisa. Whenever you try to go selfish or unethical, Ketu in the second will blast you.
Destroy you.
make money from ethical means and save in the name of someone else. That is how you manage this.